AITA for divorcing my husband over a racist joke his best friend's wife made? I'm Chinese Japanese, 27F, husband is 27M and white, married 2 years but knew each other for about 10 years since university. His friends are 30-ish and white. It was important to him that I got along with these friends, so I really made the effort. All of us played games online together for months and met a couple of times. We went up to their house again a few months ago. His friend's wife comes down to greet us and immediately said, "My cats were going crazy today and speaking Chinese like a bunch of heinous noises meant to be Chinese." And I reacted by staring at her blankly. Everyone there was white except me. No one laughed. I truly think she wasn't even processing the fact I was Chinese. Normally I would have said something immediately, but it was just so out of pocket and everyone was arriving to the party. A few moments later she makes the same joke, telling people her cats were crazy and speaking Chinese followed by just racist noises. I told my husband if he didn't say something after the party then I would. He told me he would, and at the time I had no reason to doubt him. I also told him that I had no interest hanging out with them again. Racist jokes told so casually is alarming. It was literally dehumanizing to compare my language to cats howling. Making the joke once was cringe enough, but twice? That's intentional. You might ask me why I didn't tell them to stop hanging out entirely over this. He is best friends with her husband and generally doesn't interact with the wife except at parties. I realized he couldn't choose his friend's wife. He didn't say anything to her for 3 months. The only reason he finally said something was when I first learned he was playing PUBG weekly in a 4-stack that included his friend and friend's wife. I brought up if she apologized for the joke and he got uncomfortable. Turns out he never talked to her about it and was playing games with the husband and her every week. I couldn't believe he didn't say anything to her about the joke, and he admitted he now felt awkward bringing it up months after. It was our hugest fight because in the past, he has allowed his people-pleasing tendencies to allow people to walk not just over him, but over me as well. I left the house that night and he went to his friends to vent and finally talked to them about it. It has been about a month since, but I've lost so much trust in him. In another argument he blurted out, "What do you want me to do, cut out my friends and family?" I had never asked him for that. He has low contact with his family because they are explicitly racist. I told him that I would never ask him to annihilate his support systems for me. I knew he was just saying whatever in the heat of the moment, but the moment he suggested cutting out all the racist people in his life, I just felt relieved. I asked him why he would rather play PUBG with a racist over me, and he said he didn't believe she was racist. She made a mistake, but she made the joke twice. So I'm divorcing him. He can't believe I'm divorcing him over a joke someone else made. He says he can't control his friends or their wives and that he knew she could be better. AITA for divorcing my husband over a racist joke he didn't make but also didn't confront? Edit. I truly don't disagree with anyone that I could have confronted her myself. Unfortunately, there were factors at the time that prevented me, and this is how it played out. Given my husband told me he would talk to them, I had no reason to think I had to say something after the party. There are definitely other issues in the marriage than this, and this was the final straw, but it usually revolves around how he handles situations when other people are involved. There is a trend of him prioritizing others over me, and I can't believe he prioritized game nights over doing what he told me he was going to do. It was a, "I'm gonna talk to her if you don't" situation, and he said he would, then didn't, and played games with her for weeks. I'm more angry about that than the racist joke. There are some people arguing about whether the joke is racist at all, and it simply is. It's one thing to say they were speaking Chinese, and it's another to imitate the noises. Not even gonna argue with PPL who don't see the racism. I knew his family had racist people in it before marrying him, but him being low contact was why I felt okay with it. I always keep in mind that he can choose his friends, but not his family. It just felt like this time he chose hanging out with his friends over speaking up for me. Thank you for your responses. I am headed to sleep, but I will consider marriage counseling over divorce. This was all a strange breach of trust that shouldn't have happened, and seems to show me his priorities are elsewhere.